Right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Right, back out here again on these highways and hedges. Another opportunity to give diligence to make our call and election sure. Before we go any further, we're going to face the east. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Bahashem,
Hakadosh. To the apostles and elders, the great millstone, who will teach well truth in its entirety. A hearty shalom to all the rest of the brothers that's out here pushing this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding all throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect out there, women, men, and children that come back to this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in these days that we living in. It's your brother Kalab, also go by Hope, Grace, and Mercy.
Brother Lab, Dino, also known as part of David.
Right, get back out here through the power of spirit. Doing the will and the work of the Lord. So why do y'all by some y'all shop for allowing us to get back out here, you know, with everything that's happening all throughout the four corners of the earth and here in Babylon the Great also. And I'm just grab a couple of articles from the end time headlines like we always do to get everything started. You got any articles?
Man, for starters, you know Charlie Kirk got shot, but we all know that. But it's funny, he was one of the big accusers of our people. How they making us the face of gun violence and criminal activity here in America. Then the ironic part, while he was talking about gun violence, the Lord took him out due to gun violence by his own people, the other so-called white men who are Edomites. Following that, you know, you had an Edomite cop get shot in Georgia by another Edomite. And you know, I didn't say it, but I was thinking, you know, everybody's saying that the Lord mocking these devils. I said, I think the Lord gonna keep mocking them.
Like the one in Georgia?
Yep, the one in Georgia. Hey, the Lord kept mocking them because after that, hey, 3 cops got shot by another Edomite. So who really the face of gun violence? And who's really the violent man in America? So the Lord mocked them.
And also, you know, the hangings that's going on.
Oh, yep.
You know, brothers coming up hung and Edomites getting on the scene, doing an investigation for 5 minutes and ruling out foul play, saying it looks like it's homicide. I mean, it's suicide. So one of the Jakes, both his family reported, his brother and his cousin reported that both of his arms and legs were broken. So, you know, come on, how the hell he hung himself? You know, and it seems like every time these devils try to hide, you know what I'm saying, their reality and what they really doing, y'all about some outside, exposing them and other things still coming out, you know, because they look like they hanging Jakes, but it's their own people. Why Edomite on Edomite crime? You know, it's that Edomite who unalived 3 cops and injured 2. He did that in an open field. He lured them out to a field. It was a domestic violence, domestic dispute. It was the ex-boyfriend of the Edomite chick. And when they went back to go serve a warrant for his arrest, you know what I'm saying? He made the news with them. You know? What they say in the movie, if I can't have you, nobody can.
Oh, yeah.
Edomite went out with a bang, huh?
That's right. Killed 3 cops, injured 2, killed himself, right?
Yep. And so tomorrow is the ceremony and this is what they say. Tomorrow is a funeral for
Charlie Dude.
And they found a guy, an ex-cop, posing to be a cop now. You know what I'm saying? They arrested him. He was up in there. You know what I'm saying? With a gun, a knife. So, you know, they saying anywhere there's a large crowd can be a potential. But you know, who knows? They could be lying, man.
Yeah.
It's another false flag event.
Yeah.
You know, because if Trump cared about Charlie Kirk so much like he pretended to they had a ceremony for him. Trump skipped it and he was somewhere playing golf.
That's funny.
And some other things are coming out about that Charlie Kirk guy, his spouse. She was even before he married her, she had like a company that was getting government contracts that was like doing things overseas, like the CIA type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, They say some things coming out. I'll send it to you. So it's okay. I just got it. So that's why I ain't have enough to go off. But,
He's speaking against the Jews too.
yeah. It says Pentagon. This is coming from the End Time headlines. It says China could make millions of electric vehicles remotely disabled or explode.
Damn.
Well, another one says, oh, look at this. Watch this. Pentagon demands journalists sign plea restricting information gathering. So now these journalists not going to be able to say whatever they want to. Freedom of speech is out the door. You know what I'm saying? They arresting people, firing people from their jobs,
Yep.
speaking out on Charlie Kirk. So just imagine how much, you know, what damage, you know what I'm saying, speaking his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is doing to all throughout the four corners of the earth. Because if they getting offended over Charlie Kirk, then you know, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding got them shivering in their boots, man.
Yeah, because Charlie ain't saying nothing that ain't nobody else ain't already said.
Right.
It's just he a rich man, so more people may be apt to listen. But yeah, you know, we bring out way more devastating information against these devils than Charlie, so it's us that they moving toward.
Egyptian said against Egyptian, because those shoes, you know, when you look at those on the live and cops and stuff, Jake don't even get down like that. Jake do that, they gonna have his whole family on a microscopic blade.
Oh yeah.
What you always say, pulling up all kinds of dirt. He cheated on his science test when he was
Yeah,
in
man.
school and stuff.
Nigga stole a Reese's from the school store.
Right.
What the devil?
When it started, you got some stuff going.
Let me see.
Oh, what about the Jimmy Kimmel thing?
What's that?
The late night talk show host?
I heard a little bit about it.
Yeah,
Something
they
with the free speech.
They kicked him off the air
Ah,
because he
that's
made a
what's
joke
up.
about but it wasn't directly at him. It was like it was about Trump and the dude, and he made a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kicked him off the air. And it says after Kimball's suspension, Trump wants Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers gone next. Yeah, man. Egyptian said against Egyptian, but you know, like 2/3 always say, we just need to love more. You know, we just need to love more. Man, get out of here. I can't wait till y'all about some y'all shot confound these devils, man.
Yeah, man. Still got all kind of people being laid off or fired, losing their jobs, going broke, homeless, hungry, no money. Like for example, I think my job going broke. Man, I know Tuesday, we worked 4 to 2. They sent us home after 6 hours. They're like, everybody has to leave right now. So yeah, I think they're going broke. And then we've been leaving early anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they going broke. But you know, but a lot of these companies, corporations, they downsizing. I seen Hollywood going under too. Like it's cheaper for them to film and direct movies overseas rather than to do it here.
What's that company, Marvel?
Oh, but that's the one I was thinking about too, Marvel.
They leaving Babylon.
Yep. I heard Walmart leaving too over the tariffs. I ain't looking to the video to know what they mean by leaving, but hey, America's going out of business.
It's surprising these days we're living in, you know, with the things that we don't see.
It's beautiful. Yeah, war's still popping.
Oh, another thing about Charlie Kirk. Now all of a sudden, his shooter, so-called supposed shooter, is on suicide watch. They finna get him up out of here, man. They just finna get him up out of here.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he on suicide watch.
But yeah, man. Also, you having more congressional hearings and more evidence and footage and testimonies coming out about the chariots the world calls UFOs. You know, that's a topic that more so be under the radar. You more so got to look for that info. It's another interstellar object. They called it this something swan. They said this one like bigger than the sun. Like Three-Eye Atlas, they say that was like 7 to 12 miles wide. They say this one here that passed by the sun, they say this one 100 times bigger
Oh, I seen that.
than the
It
Three-Eye
light like the
Atlas.
sun.
Uh-huh.
I seen that.
They say the tail from the trail is like 5 times wider than the moon.
Man.
Oh, another thing too about the Three-Eye Atlas, these devil spooks. Cause first, you know, on their image and on their radars, it was glowing like a greenish blue.
Yeah.
They say it'll turn red on them. And they spooked. They say that's not a good sign.
Right.
It just made me think when it speak about his eyes red as a flame of fire, because the chariots can be the eyes. Oh, beautiful. Oh, see it? Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Chariots are the eyes of the Lord, and you know, in a sense, that's beholding the good and the evil. And the Three-Eye Atlas, they turn red on them, so they spooked about that. And then the Three-Eye Atlas, then that bigger one, they both supposed to be behind the sun at the same time. So they back there communicating, strategizing, because while it's behind the sun, it's out of sight from Esau. Because Esau can't see past the sun. So it's funny when they be talking about them interstellar objects, the devil's really scared.
All of a sudden, you know, now, you know, they talking about the chariots and things that they seeing in the heavens. But remember growing up in the 99s and the 2000s, you would be deemed crazy if you talk about stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Oh, you crazy. So you mean to tell me you think that there's UFOs, but now all of a sudden the government is,
That's
you know?
that's a hot topic amongst them.
It is. They be having meetings and,
They be threatening each other.
oh yeah, they be having fallouts and stuff.
They be
over that
bullying.
stuff.
You better not say nothing.
Yeah.
They be losing their jobs. They be threatening each other's lives over. That's why, you know, Edomites be on their deathbed, then they get to talking.
I seen one Edomite saying he trying to get a bill passed that you can't threaten people who seen chariot sightings, because they was on a military base and they seen some things, and then the guy say he heard about it from other people that he trusts, and then one time he finally witnesses himself.
Yeah.
But now he say the people don't want to say what they saw when he was with them when they saw it. So hey man, Egyptians set against Egyptians, because you know most of the time it's them trying to pass laws to keep us quiet and stuff. But
Yeah.
now, well, they bumping heads, man. Tawadi Haba Shim Yao Shah.
Yeah, man, that's hilarious.
And it's beautiful at the same time too.
Oh yeah. Shalom to daughter Yahweh. Shalom to everybody else tuning in.
Shalom, Yaba Shim Yao Shah Barakatah.
Hey, Barak Adam. Man, in case, you know, y'all see the thumbnail, I got some new patches added to the back of the garment.
Oh yeah.
You know, this is a little entertainment while we're here.
Beautiful.
You know. But I think I titled the lesson, the Lord delivered the godly out of temptations. And it's back in the book of Peter chapter 2, verse 9, which we went into verse 9 and 10 in depth last week. So yeah, we back in chapter 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 9.
All right. This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 9. And it reads, "The Lord knows how to deliver the godly out of temptation and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished."
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9, and it reads, "The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished."
So we went into that last week. How the Lord is reserving the unjust to the day of judgment. And in summary, the Lord is withholding Yahweh Shah, who is his right hand. Meaning he's withholding that word from the 2/3 of our people. And that's going to keep them in a lot destined for destruction. But that same word that's being held back from them, well, the Lord is delivered the word, his right hand, Yahweh Shai, to his elect. And that's what a godly will be. It will be the elect in this lifetime. And yeah, in the godly, the Lord is going to deliver them out of temptations. And the Christian will hear that word temptation and losing. You know, temptation ain't you just lusting over a woman. Temptation ain't you being just tempted by a cigarette. You know, it's way bigger than that. Yeah, you tempted day to day on your decision making. You know, you could be tempted or fall into temptation in a moment of time, but temptation is a lot bigger than that. And see, what people gonna find out, they already failed into temptation and they not coming out of it. Again, temptation ain't you lusting for a cigarette or a woman. We're gonna show that it's a lot bigger than that. And what 2/3 of our people gonna find out, when it comes to temptation and not falling into it, they fail miserably. Because temptation, it could be you rejecting the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. That's what it is, bigger picture. And those in the truth. When you leave the truth, that's you falling into temptation. It ain't just, you know, these split-second decisions you make in a moment. Ultimately, is your walk. So yeah, that's temptation on the bigger scale. It's really how you handle this truth. Which, you know, 2/3 of our people, they think if they turn down the cigarette, if they don't celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving, if they don't mess with that woman that they shouldn't be messing with, they think, yeah, I endure temptation. But you still calling on Jesus.
Right.
You still identify as an African American. You know, you still up in the Christian church. Well, in that case, you still falling into temptation.
Still lost.
Yeah, you still lost. And that's
like
what we're going to
come in. That cigarette is the last cigarette you got over.
Man, this is the last cigarette it did. Right. But nigga, you still don't know the names of the Lord. You still don't understand salvation. Still don't know nothing about the mark of the beast. Don't know what you're going to be saved from, how you're going to be saved out of here. You still in temptation.
Right. You say you already saved, but you got temptation.
Right. So yeah, we're going to show when it comes to temptation and not falling into it. And 2/3 of our people, they have failed miserably. Even those in the truth, a lot of them failing miserably. And we're going to show. We're going to get a bunch of definitions, look up a bunch of words, and just pretty much show some precepts and line them up with the definitions. So, if you still at that precept, you still at 2 Peter 2:9. If you get it again, and then I'm gonna get some of these definitions.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished.
So yeah, the godly, which will be to his elect, 1/3 of the house of Israel, we being delivered out of temptations. Now we're gonna go super in depth on this word temptations. We're gonna start small first. So even here, for this word temptation, you know, one of the first examples of definition, it says an experiment. It says an attempt. It says a trial. It says proven. Now, I'm going to look up this word trial. Because that's what temptation is. It's your faith or your integrity being on trial. Now let's look up this word trial. Which is similar for trial, it would be a test. So for this first definition,
Definition of trial?
Yeah, for this word trial, the first one I got here, it says formal examination of evidence before a judge. Who's the judge? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. It says typically before a jury in order to decide guilt in a case of criminal or civil proceedings. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the judge. You know, to decide, who's he gonna declare guilty, who's he gonna declare innocent. And you innocent don't mean that you guilt-free, but it's your charges being wiped away. That's why Book of Psalms, David said, hey, blessed is he whose sins are forgiven, and this iniquity is covered. Because nobody is guilt-free or innocent. Hey, but some people, their sins are going to be covered. And it's covered by the blood of Yahweh Shah.
And I got a quick definition also for trial. It says the test of the performance, the quality, suitability of someone or something.
Hey, that's the spirit, because that's exactly what I got next. So it's a test of your performance. And what measure of performance is being tested is your faith and integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is looking. Now the Lord is always looking, but doing the right thing when there's no immediate reward or punishment. You're not going to be punished right now, but you're still going to do the right thing. You're not going to be rewarded right now, but you're still going to do the right thing. And why? Because of faith.
And if you ask a Christian, what would the Lord, would Jesus see? You know what I'm saying? If he was basing off, how you living and, when he ain't around, when ain't nobody around, how you living your life, they quick to tell you, well, the Lord knows my heart. He knows my heart. Yeah, he know your heart wicked as hell.
Yeah, and for somebody to say that, they already, God damn, bro.
It's Saturday, man.
God, bro. Anyways, if you will say the Lord knows your heart, you lack integrity.
Yeah.
And if you lack integrity, you don't got faith, pretty much. So that's why, again, it says a test of performance. How are you going to perform? How is your faith and integrity going to measure up with you being tempted? And yeah, smaller picture is your day-to-day decision making. Are you going to fall for the blunt when you go visit your cousin?
Yeah.
You know that girl at work, is married.
Exactly.
That boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, that's all BS. She with a man, she married. How you going to hold up against that? And a bigger picture when you presented with the truth. How you gonna handle that? And when the words of the Heavenly Father coming from common men like us, you gonna look down on it? And once you win the truth, once you win the faith, are you gonna stay there? So that's the test or measure of performance. It's how we perform day to day. And when we come to definition 2A, if you get that matching 2.
I got it.
So under definition 2, when it says test of performance, it says an athletic contest to test the ability of players eligible for a team. Now, what's that team? We want to be part of that bride. We want to be part of that elect.
Part of that number.
It says an athletic contest. This is a spiritual contest.
Going to the end.
Yep, a spiritual contest to test your ability to test the faith. And who are the players? It will be us Israelites.
Yep.
We all being tested. We all on trial. Now we even gonna show in the scripture, in a sense, hey, this is a contest, a spiritual contest.
And the difference between a 2/3 and the hopefully elect, like the brother talking about trial. When you on trial, some people go to trial because they know they innocent and they gonna win. Some people go to trial hoping that they gonna be found guilty, you know what I'm saying, and they win, but they still guilty. And being in having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we like, take it to trial. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is our lawyer. Y'all Bashim Yahushua is standing in our defense, but a lot of you 2/3 are going into that trial, going into that court with no defense.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, He one of the best lawyers that money can't buy.
Yeah, that's the one. That's who you should be. Yeah, you should be having a relationship with Yahweh Shah. You know, sometimes they may call it a friend of the court or a lawyer. That's who the judge, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, is going to hear, his right hand. And base how you handle this truth, this walk of faith, the word, that's how you handle Yahweh Shah.
You wouldn't cuss out your lawyer if he was fighting for your life.
Yeah, you would listen. You would
listen. Exactly, you would listen.
How Israel say, let the Holy One of Israel cease from before me. You talking shit about the men of the Lord. You want to dog out your lawyer for your trial?
Not at all, bro.
But yeah. The second definition for trial, it says test of performance. This will be a test of faith. And then right under that, it says an athletic contest. This is a spiritual contest. Not necessarily that we competing against one another, but we competing to be part of that number.
Right.
And we're going to show that.
Right, this is the book of Matthew chapter 22 and verse 14. For many are called, but few are chosen.
See, that's the context. Many are called, but few are chosen. Not an athletic contest, but a spiritual contest. And see, that's why it don't stop. Oh, I know I'm the Lord, so we know we the people. It don't stop there. Oh, you say put on as the elect. Another word for put on was to be performed. Perform as the elect. The brother Sagalabi saying that the elect will show elect-like behavior.
Elect-like qualities.
Yup. And then, let me see. If you get that second there.
I got it.
Okay, bet. Let's grab it.
All right. This is the book of Second Esdras. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 2 and verse. Salaki. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 23.
My bad. I might have been tripping. 16, I think it's supposed to be 73. My bad. Damn, fingers be pushing everything, but for the buttons be moving on me.
16 and 23, right?
73.
Salaki for that iPad getting a little high. All right, this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 16.
Yeah, we're going to show again, many are called, few are chosen. This is that context. Everybody's is really fighting, you know, for that prize. It's really salvation.
I'm going to go high. My brightness is but I'm right there. It's the book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, starting at verse 70. What was it, 73?
Yeah.
Second Esdras 16 and verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire.
See, they're going to be tried as gold in the fire. Who's that gold? Because remember, we got many are called, but few are chosen. The Lord said, then they shall know who are my chosen. That's who's going to perform honorably before you have a Bashem Yahushua.
I thought Jesus was coming back for everybody, though.
Right.
He said chosen, meaning like everybody ain't healed.
Yeah.
Everybody not a part of that number.
As gold in the fire. What's the fire? That's the temptation. Yep. The adversity, the troubles, and then the spirit, even in the Olympics. You get first place, you get that gold medal.
Yep.
So the chosen, that's going to be the fine gold. But unlike the Olympics, hey, there is no second place. It ain't no third place. You either that gold or you that stubble to be left in the fire to be consumed.
When Nelly had a song back in the day that said, and the hook it says, what does it take to be number one?
Two is not a winner, three nobody remember. Yeah. Hey, two not a winner. And three nobody remember.
Yeah, like coming Ain't no scripture in here that support coming in second place.
Right, right.
You know, ain't no second place chariots, man.
Yeah.
For people who almost love Yahweh Shem Yahushua, who almost fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Simon Noah could have tell you that.
Right.
Noah
right.
ain't throw no canoes.
Life rafts.
Yeah, there wasn't no life jackets or no other boats coming after that ark.
Right. He didn't build. The Lord didn't give him instruction to build ark number 2 for those who snapped out of it when they was drowning.
Yeah. And then Paul, I can think off the top of my head, Paul, you know, he spoke on that. He said, run that you may win. Put on as the elect, perform as the elect through these temptations that you may win. Every day, we on trial on many levels. Yeah, your split decision making day to day, what you do day to day, but ultimately, how you handle Yahweh Shai, how you handle this truth.
Your life on the line, you fight for your life on trial. You ain't gonna take no days off to play the PS4.
Right.
It's serious business.
You'll be in close contact with your lawyer.
Exactly. Waiting on him to contact you, ready to listen to the instructions.
Yup. Now I'm gonna get this other example. We still in this word trial. This is 2B. Let me grab this one. So another word for temptation, which we being delivered from, is trial. So let me grab this 2B. It says, am I tripping?
The definitions.
Hold on real quick. I think I'm on. Okay, my bad. So for this word trial, definition 2B, it says an event in which horses or dogs or other animals compete or perform. So a trial, the temptation is an event. And what's that ultimate time of temptation? That ultimate time of trouble? That event, that is all boiling down to the time of Jacob's trouble. That's the event. Really, we here. But this the event that, you know, everything before was practice. It's all coming down to this moment. And then ultimately, that event would be the hour of temptation. You know, that would happen towards the end or in the midst of Jacob's trouble. So again, a temptation or a trial, it says an event in which one must compete or perform. So in this time of Jacob's trouble, you expect it to perform a certain way. You expect it to keep the faith, pretty much. Now let's get it in both versions.
I start off. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 7. All right, in the KJV first. It says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
See, the time of Jacob's trouble. You see, it said a time of trouble so great that is none like it. So that's the ultimate event that's about to take place here on the earth.
Yes, sir. I was Salaki, before you go on, I was talking to my wife and my daughter about it last night. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we was going. Well, they weren't going back and forth. They was just sitting and listening. You know, my daughter only 6 years old, but even she didn't have. You know, she play a lot. You know, she's silly. She be silly all the time. You know, so we would talk about Jacob's trouble and the times that, you know, we were quickly approaching. You know, my real, she was just quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like she didn't have much to say for the rest of the day.
And that's what it's coming to. Women ain't about to have nothing to say.
It's a great humbling is about to come up on the planet Earth, man. Mm-hmm. Great humbling. Ain't gonna be, man. You gotta be a different type of individual, man, to be looking for a time that the Earth ain't never seen before. Like, we hastening that day. We can't wait till that day get here. We ain't trying to duck it. We ain't trying to dodge it or none of that. We understand the times we coming into. Are we gonna be still scared and fearing Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? Hell yeah, even more. You know, but we got this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and we praying that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is dealing with us, and He don't take this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from us. Because this is the true money. This is the true bag. Everybody trying to get rich. Everybody trying to be, you know what I'm saying, get one up over another. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep up with the Joneses. This is the true money right here. You know, all you hear is people talk about how much they make an hour, what they job doing for them, what they got saved. You know, trying to get you to invest in cryptocurrencies in the stock market. Man, get out of here, man. Like, you gotta be, and then, like I just said, you gotta be a certain type of individual. You're looking forward to making sure. You gotta be a different type of individual. You're not afraid of to just be cool with knowing that, hey, Jesus loves and He bringing all the kingdom that one could ever imagine in His life. You know, the Edomites looking out there tent and wheeling at that sign like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's that temptation, this trial. This is what we're gonna be delivered from. Because you know it's a pass or a fail. You win or you lose. And ultimately, in some of Jacob's trouble, it's really impossible to overcome. That's why I say even the righteous will scarcely be saved, barely make it out of here. But that's why we got to be delivered from this. We gonna endure, perform as expected by the Lord long enough that the Lord pulls us out of here. Because that's why I said no flesh will be saved. So what we going in through, there's nothing you can do on your own. When we about to Jacob's trouble, it's impossible to overcome. But that's why Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 37 said, he shall be saved out of it. The Lord wants us to run this race, stay in the faith, walk in the faith long enough, just to see if we really faithful to Him.
Is we real 24 karat gold?
Is we real gold? And then what? The Lord gonna pull us out of there. And ain't nobody gonna say, yeah, man, we survived Jacob's trouble, we made it. You gonna make it by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Right.
Like we gonna be on the ground jumping up and down,
like we made it,
doing handshakes and shit.
You'll know you made it when you changed in the blinking of an eye.
Yeah, because you got to be removed off the earth.
Yeah. And in that time, brothers is gonna be witnessing and seeing and going through some of the craziest times, man. The craziest things are gonna be happening. You know, Lord willing, we're part of that number before Yahweh Hashem Yahushua swoop down like the song, the old Negro spiritual. Swing low, swing chariot. Coming for to carry me home. You know?
That's the prize.
That's the prize. You wanna endure to the end. You know what I'm saying? We already got our life is on trial. You wanna win the case.
And see, that's what it is, man. When we say your faith is on trial, that's the great. It's your life on trial.
Yes.
This ain't just the Lord gonna see you not a believer. You get to walk away, go about your day.
Yeah.
No, ultimately, hey.
Barbecuing
Yeah,
today.
you're gonna be sent away in the lake of fire.
I listen to a lot of motivational speeches, like, you know, just getting prepped up for my day. And one of them, I heard one motivational speaker say, "You already in pain. Why not get a reward for it?" You know, we catching hell. You know, I'm catching hell. You know what I'm saying? Every day you gotta go to work, pay bills. You know, for those brothers who got wives and children, like, you know, Esau, always something changing at your job.
Bruh.
Oh man, we in hell. We already in pain, man.
Yeah, you know, man, they told you hell. I ain't gonna get into that. Hey, this is hell though.
Right, hell is underground.
Underground.
Evelyn and Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, they don't have no jurisdiction down there.
Right. You know, a red sky, no trees.
Yeah.
No, hell is you waking up to an alarm clock.
Yes.
Hey, hell is you. The brothers say something changing at the job every week. Increasing production, Equipment moving slower.
Yeah.
Equipment don't work, but you gotta hit certain numbers. They increasing the workload, but your pay not increasing. This is hell.
This is the true living hell. And when you tell your family or a Christian hell is a condition played out on earth, they don't think they in hell.
And this is temptation.
Pork and everything.
Yeah, because it's full of distractions.
Did you know that some of the brushes we use is pig?
And I
the
heard
whiskers from off of a hog. You know,
crazy,
those
man.
wild hogs and stuff. I was like, what? You know, hey man, you go in the store and try to get a frozen pizza, everything got pork on it. Meat lovers.
plastic.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Some of this rice that they serving in these stores, in these restaurants, ain't really rice. But it expands when you boil it like rice.
And I heard it's plastic.
Yeah. I seen a video where Moab poured this green liquid into some cold water and made lettuce.
I saw that.
Made some damn lettuce. It was looking just like
Balled
lettuce.
it up real quick.
Balled it up and everything.
That's why I stopped eating lettuce. I'm like, I'm not eating that. They don't taste like nothing anyway.
Enjoy that on your burger.
Yeah, it's crunchy water. Like man, just give me some extra onions, some pickles, some jalapenos.
Give me another GMO, man.
Man, yeah.
You want me to get in the NLT?
No, it's straight. I'm gonna go to this next definition for this word.
Come.
Trial. So we into this word temptation. Similar word for temptation will be trial. We're gonna go to the third definition. It says a person or situation. Read a person. What's the situation? Ultimately Jacob's trouble. That tests a person's endurance. And the scripture spoke about endurance. But what's being tested? Your faith. How well will your faith endure? How long will your faith endure? A lot of people got the faith now, but they're not gonna have it in the blackout. They're not gonna have it when the RFID chip is made mandatory. They're not gonna have the faith when they ain't ate in 26 hours. But yeah, a person or thing or situation that tests a person's endurance. Endurance, that's a time aspect, but the thing being tested will be your faith. Not only how you handle the word when presented, can you come into the truth, but can you stay there?
Right.
Can you walk in it? Way bigger than you turning down a cigarette or a blunt.
Right.
Temptation or trial, way bigger than you turning down a woman you shouldn't be with.
Wait till they face with that temptation of you ain't ate it 6 days and you got kids, but you gonna take that you know what.
Yeah.
Now, overcome that one, and then we could talk about you beating temptation.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's easy to say what you ain't gonna do. It's easy to say what you can kick. It's easy to say what you're not willing to do to overcome the temptation that the Lord told you to overcome, and then we could talk.
Yeah.
You know? But until then, you not saved, man. You still can be thrown into that lake of fire when it's time.
Yeah, your mind gonna change real quick when you ain't ate it a day.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yes, and you got kids in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter.
I bet you gotta.
Not you want to grab one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, since we talk about trial,
Yeah.
it says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than the gold that perishes, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua Mashiach.
Yeah, because this trial we go to, be able to endure, go through it, the glory to come, you can't even imagine. That's why it says, this present suffering for the moment, hey, it can't compare to the glory.
Can't come close. You want to grab Matthew?
Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound,
24:12, the one you gonna do it to the end.
Same shall be saved.
Yeah, I guess I was tripping this morning.
Tired, bro. Matthew 24 and verse 12.
Oh,
Maybe I'll jump it down. Give me 1 second. So Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12.
yeah, again, its third definition for trial. It says a person or situation that tests a person's endurance. We're gonna show endurance. That's a part of the faith. One of the most important factors of it. Hey, that's where a lot of people gonna fail, which they already have.
You think you saved already, you already feel.
Yep.
Now that's something, that we can tell you. See, you still believing on Jesus Christ and thinking you saved by the blood of Jesus, yes, you have already failed, man. This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Is that the wrong precept?
Yeah, about endurance.
There you go. It's 13.
Okay.
The book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13, Salaki. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
See, that's the prize. He who endures to the end. So how will you endure in the faith?
Right.
How will you perform in this truth?
Right.
During, time of Jacob's trouble, it's going to be the most difficult time to walk in the truth, to stay in the truth, ultimately the hour of temptation.
You ain't ate in 3 days, but you surrounded by fresh
Buffet and women.
fresh pork burger with
Yep.
all the trimmings and toppings on top of it.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? Don't be no fool and be like, well, I ain't ate. The Lord sent it to me.
Oh yeah.
See, that could be that test.
And your life on the line. You don't take the chip, they're gonna chop your head off. Hey, that's the ultimate temptation right there. So can you endure that? Can you perform, meaning maintain the faith through that? Lose your women, your kids. They may start putting your kids to death. Can you endure that for the faith?
Shit, while you loving on your kids so much, your kids might know how to call that secret number and get you taken care of.
Yeah.
Your kids turn on you for that pork burger.
Oh yeah. It's good to say, hey, children gonna cause their parents to get put to death. So more on this word trial. Or excuse me, temptation. So second definition for temptation, this is B1 and B2. It says the trial of a man's fidelity, integrity, or virtue, ultimately a test of faith. So this is B1. Enticement to sin, temptation, whether arising from the desires or from outward circumstances. And this is what you face day to day. Your desires, that will come from the inner man, but it also says outward circumstances. So you can be tempted of by the world as well. We're gonna show that with a quick precept. And then, the other part, it says an eternal temptation to sin. So you can be tempted internally or externally. We all deal with it day to day.
You go to your job. I know next month is so-called Halloween. I remember last year, my job, they wanted everybody to dress up like the Minions, and my supervisor is an Edomite. The guy who take care of the Minions, That's who he dressed up like, and he is a part of the LGBT2T3ZYX for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tell them hell no. You know, I'm using wisdom. You know, but to go into work knowing what I was finna see, and it was exactly it. I'm talking about all of them dressed up, participating. Hey man, hey, I love to feel you how about some of y'all shot too much for that little small victory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it because it's my job and I don't want anybody, man, get that.
And that's an example of an external temptation, an outward temptation, which we face day to day. You know, inward is when you desire something, you crave and you got to itch for it. Outward part, you some kind of incentive, some kind of reward, some kind of praise. We all deal with it day to day. The time of Jacob's trouble, the external temptation is going to be out of this world.
Yes.
You're going to lose everything, but you can gain everything back in the palm of your hand by getting a microchip. They're going to have chipping buffets, you know, they had tattoo parties.
Yeah.
They're going to have a tattoo party, swipe your chip to get in. They're going to have women waiting for you.
See, ultimately, you gotta have that, you know what, to get in the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Because I can see somebody passing on a C-hip party, a tattoo party for the C-hip. But hey man, you need that, you know what to get inside of the grocery store. That's, you know, ain't gonna be no fun and games then.
Yeah, because if your job make mandates now, you can get around that.
Yeah.
And you might get looked down on, but you still got your job. You still get paid. You still get another one. That's not going to be the case after the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, is mandated. So the Lord, I was going to say the Lord, you know, through Esau, working for Satan, going to set up an external scenario in which it's impossible to reject or deny. You can't go around it. Without that RFID microchip, which is why it's the ultimate temptation, there's going to be no way around it.
Spirit, I was just going to say the same thing. You can't go around it. You can't go around it.
I should have did this.
If you want to be at peace with you, let them, you know?
Oh yeah.
But if ultimately, you know, when they look at that sign and see it, that make them look over at us and that's their decision. Like,
oh, right.
I'm going to say hey to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That gets them in check, man.
Oh, it do. It's humbling. Because they ride by cheesing and laughing. And with their phones out, then they get a whip for that poster.
Right. In my mind, you know, since I came into this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and got the true doctrine, the true breakdown from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that picture right there, I always picture myself looking down from the chariots and things.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be here when that boom go, man.
Right.
Man, you was a true turd if you hear when that boom go off.
Yeah. But yeah, this their definition for temptation: enticement to sin, temptation arising from desires. That's internal temptation. It says, or outward circumstances. That outward circumstance will be Jacob's trouble, ultimately the outward temptation. And we're gonna show that.
All right, this is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, and verse 16. Book of 1 John, chapter 2, and verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of the world.
And see, the lust of the flesh, that's internal temptation to sin. You know, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life.
And those things you can't take with you.
Those are outward circumstances or outward temptation. Then, like the brother said, you know, things you can't take with you. It's all gonna burn here. And if you tempted by these things that's gonna burn here, you're gonna burn with it.
Right. You're gonna burn with it.
The Lord, see, and that's the thing about the Lord. You're not gonna take you from what you love.
Like
Like the Lord gonna beg you.
you gonna be able to take your iPhone charge on the chariot.
Yeah.
You know, man. Oh.
Man, somebody said something simple. And one of the, I forget the brother that it was, one of the GMS brothers. Might have been Ministers of the Kingdom. Somebody said, you know, what kind of jobs we gonna have in the kingdom of heaven? How dare you mention kingdom of heaven and ask about are we gonna have jobs?
Right.
What? Imagine that. You want to be a nurse in the kingdom of heaven.
Your mind ain't in the right place if you thinking about a workforce that you gonna be a part of in the kingdom of heaven.
See, that's why the scriptures say that conscience is defiled.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. You know, here you taught, you don't even know what you should hope for. The Lord taught us how to hope, what to hope in, what to hope for. Because all this time you was hoping to retire in America and leave a 6-7 figure fortune for your children.
Right. In the days of Noah, hope didn't get you on that boat.
Yeah. You know, your hope was to be in heaven with your enemies. Now the Lord told you need to hope to be on that chariot. So yeah. But we gonna get some more for this definition for temptation. We gonna get 3C. It says, and this is a bigger picture for temptation. This is what I've been waiting to get to. It says of the condition of things or mental state. So yeah, even there, your temptation ain't limited to what you do physically day to day. Are you gonna hit that cigarette? You gonna fall for the blunt? Are you gonna stay out late tonight? You gonna chase after that woman who's technically married?
Right.
It ain't limited to the physical thing. It says the mental state. If your mind ain't in the truth, you already failed temptation.
Yep.
If you fizzle out of this, you already failed temptation. If you got knowledge of the truth, but you still calling on Jesus, don't know the names Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah, you already failed the temptation mentally. A lot of people have already felt this thing mentally long before they feel it physically. This is just when you fail physically, it's gonna be a manifestation of the inner man, of the condition of things or mental state by which we are enticed to sin. This is the point. Or to a lapse from the faith and holiness. So you can lapse from this, meaning you can fall out, you can fizzle out, you can burn out. And ultimately, that's what the time of Jacob's trouble in our hour of temptation, that's the purpose that it serves.
You can also bug out too.
Oh yeah, all the outs.
All out.
They have to do a lesson like that.
You either in or you out.
Yeah. It's gonna be all kind of outs in that day.
Lights out.
Lights out, fizzle out, burn out, bug out, fall out. And that's what this time is for. The Lord, again, a contest, a spiritual contest. Many are called, you Israelites, but a few of you Israelites, the elect, are chosen.
So
only a few is gonna perform according to the standard of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah.
So when they say that scripture in the Christian church, many are called, few are chosen.
Yeah.
Okay, if everybody called, then why only a few chosen?
That word few, I don't know, they go deaf to that word.
Right, they go deaf to that word.
Which it chosen for what?
Right.
First, salvation. Then
Some of that Christianity doctrine, you got to be a idiot, you know what I'm saying, to like really believe that now, man.
yeah, you got to be retarded, and it's a thing.
That's how you know Christians don't read their Bible.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I'm saying?
retarded.
They can't go ask their pastor no questions and stuff. I got an in-law, all she says, well, my pastor this, my pastor that. She got a whole husband at home, and all she do is talk about
Her
no,
past.
see, my pastor. That's how you know your pastor is full of BS, because you ain't talking nothing about the Lord. You
No
ain't
precepts
saying,
coming out.
no precepts coming out.
No
You
prophecy.
you just making it seem like your pastor was born in a manger and he the savior, man.
Oh, right.
Like, come on, man. I just now, you've been after a while. You get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. After a while, you just start looking over certain people, man. Like, hey, they might be a 2/3.
You know, I love to talk about the truth. But this is the thing now. I used to like to talk about it with everybody.
Yeah.
Now I only like talking about the truth with select individuals. If I know if your mind ain't here September 20th, 2025, I don't want to talk to you about the truth.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point now, I don't even want you to ask me about it. Don't ask me how the teaching is going. Don't ask me if I'm still doing it, because I really don't want to talk about it with you. I don't want to talk about prophecy with you. But that's why I say don't catch your pearls before swine.
Yes. As a Christian, to say something so crazy, you just all you can do is either look at them or don't say to them at all, man.
See, these Christians, your pastor's retarded.
Yeah.
Your pastor is straight dummy. And you got to be a bigger dummy to put your trust in a dummy. And a lot of these so-called woke people, even more dumber than the pastors. Hey, somebody, I ain't gonna even get into that.
They are.
Because I'm gonna get pissed off, but
it's crazy that car be out there by my house.
that purple one,
That purple
I'm
house.
gonna claim.
And find out Esau following me.
Oh, right.
I seen him yesterday behind me.
But yeah, man, we gon'
Got the right definition.
oh, yeah, I get that definition again. It says, a mental state by which we are enticed to sin or a lapse from faith and holiness. So you can fall out of this burnout physical one way or another.
Yeah.
I think it was a precept to go with that.
Ezekiel.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18 and verse 24. And it reads, but when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? All his righteousness that he hath done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he hath trespassed, and in his sin that he hath sinned, in them shall he die.
So yeah, when you turn from your righteousness is going to be forgotten.
Right.
It's not going to be remembered.
All for naught.
So let's say you turn from your righteousness and you fall into sin and you're going to die in that sin, that's not limited to you hitting the blunt.
Right.
If you hit the blunt, the Lord's not going to kill you, but I would advise you not to.
Right.
So if you can't say no to a blunt, how you going to say no to the RFID microchip?
Exactly.
You know, you can't say no to that woman, how you going to say no to the microchip? And if Esau going to be the devil, he might have a bad woman presenting the chip to you.
Yep.
You know, but you know, keep reading that again.
Come on. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18 and verse 24. But when the righteous turneth away from the righteousness and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? All his righteousness that he had done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he had trespassed, and in his sin that he had sinned, and in them shall he die.
So yeah, when you turn from righteousness, commit iniquity, your trespasses and the sins you commit is not limited to your day-to-day decision making.
Right.
Rather it's eating a pork, rather it's staying out late, going to the bar. Nothing wrong with that. Let me think of something more. Bigger picture is how you handle the truth.
Yeah.
You fall out of the truth and you go back to the white man's Christianity.
Yeah.
You back in the world now. You was doing the work, you was doing lessons, but you stopped doing that. That's you falling out of righteousness and falling into iniquity and sin, trespass.
Brothers falling out the truth and becoming scoffers on your social media.
That's a big one. You know? Oh, that's a major one.
Yeah.
And you sisters, you's a part of this. You make a video why you're not a Hebrew Israelite no more.
Yeah.
That's you falling into iniquity and trespass. Because again, it's not the act of committing the sin. You already committed it mentally when you fell out. Because ultimately that sin is rejecting the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Now, I got one more definition example for this word temptation, and then we're gonna move on. So I'm gonna get this last definition. Simply put, it says rebellion against God. So, and that's where ultimately the 2/3 of our people are gonna fail, because they in rebellion. And based off the previous definition, rebellion is not limited to the physical act of being rebellious. It all begins in the mind. It's a mental state. You can have knowledge of the truth. You still believe in Jesus and Jehovah, you fail temptation. You believe everybody gonna get saved. You believe the Lord not gonna destroy America. You praying for America. You already failed temptation. You already lost.
You already lost the battle.
Yeah, you already lost. You lost before the battle really even got started.
Lost the war and the battle.
Yeah. Now we're gonna show ultimately it's rebellion against God what it all comes down to. Yeah, temptation can be your day-to-day decision making, the act of committing a sin. Bigger than that, it's how you handle this work. Can you stay in the truth? And based on all of that, it's gonna determine the Lord gonna categorize you as the rebellious or the godly. Now we're gonna show rebellion, simply put, how it applies today. Because people think he's a Gothic. He wearing all black, he listen to heavy metal, he's rebellious. He came into church late, he wore that to the club last night. He listened to rap after church, he's rebellious.
He might be better than everybody in the church.
And it come to find out, a lot of them people, they handle the truth better when they come up.
Yeah.
But we're gonna show you rebellion simplified.
Was First Samuel?
Yeah.
All right, this is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15 and verse 23. And it reads, "For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry."
Now, this rebellion, stubbornness, witchcraft, idolatry, the Lord about to sum it up.
Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king.
So that's rebellion. That's witchcraft. That's idolatry. That's stubbornness. When you reject the words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. When you outright reject it when presented the truth, when you come into the truth and then fall out, or through the persecution of Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, you deny the faith. That's you rejecting the words of Yahweh Shah. So that's rebellion, idolatry, witchcraft, stubbornness, all wrapped in one. And what's the penalty? You're gonna be in that lake of fire.
Well, you really can't handle it.
So yeah, and that rebellion starts in the mind. Because people, they cannot live a bad life day to day based off their actions. But mentally, if they can't get with this or not with it, or fall out of this, they already in the rebellion of the mind. That's what the Lord said, the conscience defiled. So yeah, that's super in-depth on that word temptation. Yeah, I think we back there, that 2 Peter 2:9 again.
All right, this is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, and starting back over at verse 9. "The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished."
So the elect, we be delivered out of temptation on all levels. Temptation is not one-dimensional. It's not your quick decision making. It's not limited to physical action. It's really your whole life. Hey, mentally, physically, spiritually, everything is on trial. Everything is being tested. With the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you know how to deliver the godly out of temptations. You know who the godly is. That's the elect. That's who's gonna hold up during this temptation. They're gonna perform. They're gonna endure. they're going to keep the faith. But how's the Lord going to deliver? What does that mean? How is that going to play out? Now we're going to go super in depth on this word deliver. So when we come to this word deliver, it says to draw to oneself, to rescue, to deliver. Other words for deliver or to rescue would be to save. But we're going to get this definition for draw, because it said to draw to oneself. And similar words for this word draw, it says to pull. It says to drag.
Tug of war.
Yup, so ultimately, the Lord is drawing us back to Him, putting us back to Him. And the tug of war would be the truth versus His word. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua versus Satan, who is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Torn between the two. That's the fate of 2/3 of our people. So we're going to look at this word draw. So we go to this definition for draw. It says to pull or to drag to make it follow behind. To pull or to drag to make it follow behind. And how is the Lord pulling us and dragging us? By this word. To follow behind what? To follow Him. Now we're going to show that with scriptures. And by the Lord pulling us or dragging us with this word, ultimately we're going to be delivered.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Yep.
Okay. Verse 16. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy power Yahweh, to walk in His ways.
See, that's to follow. The Lord is dragging you or pulling you, drawing Him to Himself. And one way that's accomplished is by walking in His ways. Walking in His ways, hey, what does that even mean? Because a Christian to say you got to walk in the ways of the Lord about to tell you. That's the very next part.
And to keep His commandments.
That's how you walk in His ways.
And His statute. And His judgment, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy power Yahweh shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
So that's what it means the Lord delivers the godly out of temptation. He's delivering us, meaning spiritually first, mentally, He's pulling and dragging our minds to follow after Him.
Ultimately, Yahweh Shai Mashiach was that example.
Yep.
When He says, you know what I'm saying, to walk in His ways, Yahweh Shai was our example. So we're supposed to be mimicking Yahweh Shai because He is the way back to the Father.
Yep.
You know, it ain't got nothing to do with no Sunday pastor. It ain't got nothing to do with passing out sandwiches to the homeless. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with your tithe and 10% of what you don't have. You know? And guess what? A Christian can say they love the Lord and all that. Go against what they believe, they're going to turn to a damn demon. Like them damn scoffers last week.
Yeah.
You know, even more our people.
Yeah.
You know, a Christian will smash you with a big boulder if they pick it up and get away with it.
They wanted to do Yahweh Shai in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the Lord is pulling and dragging us, which when He's always been an example by His word, but 2,000 years ago, they had a physical example. We don't got a physical example, but a spiritual example, which is the word. So the Lord is pulling us in the spirit, meaning our minds, to follow after Him. Walk in His ways, keep His commandments. So walking in the ways of the Lord is not limited to the physical acts of what you do day to day. But even with that, it's a mindset. That's why the Lord said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. If you want to save everybody, you're not walking in the ways of the Lord mentally.
And
If you're praying for America, you're not following after Yahweh Shai mentally. Because even the disciples understood that it was Yahweh Shai who was going to take down the Roman Empire. Well, guess what? The Roman Empire is back today. Yo, good old America. So yeah. So to pull or to drag, to make it follow behind. So for you to be pulled or dragged, it's not even of ourselves.
Yeah.
Hey, the Lord is pulling us and dragging us.
Just like Yahweh Shem Yahushai is woken us up to this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Ain't nothing we can do about this. We didn't do this. Ain't nothing that we can do to ask him to wake us up. It's got to be all his doing.
Yeah, you know, a perfect example, like if you go in to fish, you pull or drag the fish to you. The fish don't come on his own. But see, Yahweh Shai gave an example when he told 2 of his disciples, follow me and I make you fishers of men. Just so happened, they was fishers, so that was a perfect example. But see, the Lord pulled us to him, but then he's also using us to pull in other believers. Except when we
say covenant transport.
That's crazy.
Right now.
Crazy. Coming back to the covenant, you're gonna be transported or what's the word? Transported or translated. Translated out of here.
What the brother saying, man, you either about to be beamed up or burnt up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be beamed up or burnt up. But yeah, see, the Lord was a fisher, you know, he sent out other fishers. You got that real quick, that Mark?
Yeah, I got it.
Let's grab it.
This book of Mark, chapter 1 and verse 17. And Yahweh Shai said unto them, come ye after me, and I will make you to become fishers of men.
Hey, and we fishers of men. We drawing in the believers. Not to ourselves, but to Yahweh Shai.
And there was once also other fishers of men that drawed us in.
Yep.
You know, to continue in this walk.
Yep. And when you go fishing, you need some kind of bait. You need a hook. What's the bait? What's the hook? That's these breakdowns. Deuteronomy 28:68. That was the ultimate bait to hook a lot of the believers. Another one for me was Genesis 25:25 concerning Esau. And the final one that blew my mind, when I learned the UFOs was the chariots. You know, it's different bait that hook to pull in the believers. Hey, but the result is the same. They get pulled into this truth. Jeremiah 16, the Lord said he has sent for many fishers. Showing you that it will be prophets in the last days. Now, we're not drawing in the believers to ourselves. That's what the people think. That when we send them our videos, that they're doing us a favor by watching our videos. They're doing us a favor by tuning in. You're not doing us no favor. We don't need the views. We don't need the likes. We don't need the comments. You're doing this for your own salvation. Because ultimately, you're being drew. You're drawing nigh to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
You in this thing for anything other than salvation, please get away from me.
Yeah. If you in this to be friends or to make us proud, hey, get away from me.
Right. I don't want nothing to do with that.
Now, let me see what else we got. Let me, I'm gonna get this second definition for this word draw. Okay. So it says to pull in the drag to make it follow behind. The Lord is causing us or pulling us and dragging us by the word. That's the hook. We got a whiff of this word, a taste of the word, and we latched on. Second definition it says to pull in a specified direction. So we're not just being pulled in a certain way. See, that's the thing with Christianity. Christianity, you come in there, it's a free-for-all.
Right,
What they say, come as you are,
Come as you are.
it's a free-for-all. These niggas ain't got no set goal in mind. They ain't got no set direction. They ain't got no end goal in mind.
Keep the Bible at home, because we gonna tell you what you need to be doing.
Right. With no sense of direction. Right under it, it says to pull or to guide in a specified direction. See, when the Lord pulling us, we're not just being pulled blindly. That's why the scripture about the blind leading the blind. Your pastor pulling you, dragging you, but even your pastor don't know where he going.
Right.
So how can you? See, Yahweh Shah putting us in a specified direction. Hey, there's an end goal in mind. The believers who call and fear on the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, if you ask all of us what's the end goal, we are going to tell you it's to be saved. Past that, if we get deeper, we're going to tell you it's to end up on that chariot.
Like the brother was speaking about the tug of war, you know, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is trying to pull you into it, trying to pull you out of this world. You on the other side of the rope, allowing your pastor standing behind you. You don't even know he's trying to pull you back out.
Back into, back down into Egypt.
Yep.
Now,
People start looking at us like we doing something wrong.
oh yeah, he need to be over here.
Right.
But yeah, we gonna show, even in the word, when you walk in the ways of the Lord, keep his commandments and his statutes, when you got a mindset, a mental state that's modeled after the Lord, that should be pulled in a specified direction. As the definition for the word draw has stated. And again, that word draw is a similar word for to deliver. As we look at that word, deliver in the Greek, it says to draw to oneself. The Lord is pulling you in a specific manner. It's not a free-for-all. Yeah, let's get that 16.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, starting at verse 16. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy power Yahweh, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgment, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord thy power Yahweh shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
See, that's the point. The Lord is pulling us, dragging us to follow him. Walk in his ways, keep his commandments. But what it say? That thou mayest live. You ask the 1/3 believers, they're going to tell you, we doing this that we may live, that we may be saved. It ain't for a Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. It ain't for a mansion. It's not for our career to take off. It's not for the Lord to heal our marriage and our household. Now that all may come along with it, but it's that we may live. And it's not to multiply here, because we're not even in the promised land. But in that kingdom of heaven, that's what we're gonna multiply. So that's why the definition for pull, it says to pull in a specified direction. There's an end goal in mind common amongst the true believers. What else we got? Let me see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got another definition for this word pull or draw. When you say draw to oneself, which is going into that word deliver.
So to get 17?
Yeah, let's grab 17 too.
Okay. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away.
Oh, you could be drawn away. The Lord can draw you to himself, or you can be drawn away. That's the tug of war. But let's see what happens when you're drawn away.
And worship other gods and serve them. Keep going, my bad. You good? I denounce unto this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it.
See, if you draw away from this, if you're not drawn to Yahweh Shah, you gonna perish.
Right. What are you drawn to then? Like it's something else you can draw to better than Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you can't find something, I don't want to know.
Hey, and whatever draws you away from this, you make that your God. That's your idol.
Show power.
Because it got a hold of your mind. So another definition for this word draw, it says come to or arrive at a point in time or a specified point in the process. So the process is his ministry, us being built up. Now, what's the specified point? Salvation. Ultimately being on that chariot. Now we're gonna even show that. That's the end goal.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 25, starting at verse 4. Shew me thy ways, O Lord, teach me thy paths. Let me in thy truth and teach me, for thou art the power of my salvation, and thee do I wait all the day.
See that? David saying, show me thy ways, teach me thy path, lead me in the truth. That's Deuteronomy 30:16. You know, walk in his ways, keep his commandments, that you may live. Then David goes on to say, thou art my God of salvation. Yeah, we being led in the truth, taught the ways of the Lord for salvation. That's that fourth definition for draw. When it says to arrive at a specified point in time of a process. Through the process of time, the goal is to be saved. Ultimately, to end up on that salvation. Excuse me, to end up on that chariot. The world calls a UFO. And we're going to show that.
That's the same guy. You notice that?
Yeah.
That's who been driving up and down the street all day.
See, that's
like his fourth time. He was racing with that yellow one.
That's all he got to look forward to, stunting up and down 121.
Right. Like somebody famed because he driving by.
So yeah, fourth definition for that word draw is to end up at a specified point. At a certain destination. And the believers, what we all got in common, we all want to end up on that chariot. That's the salvation.
Isaiah 26 and verse 20.
Yeah.
This is the book of Isaiah. It's 26 or 66?
Yeah, 26.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 26. iPad, sorry about that. The book of Isaiah, chapter 26 and verse 20. And it reads, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy door about thee. Hide thyself as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
That's gold. That's the prize. That's what the Lord is putting us toward. See, he putting us in the spirit, meaning putting our minds with the word to draw us unto him. As return, hey, that's gonna be literal and physical. The Lord physically gonna draw us up to him. That's Revelation 11 and 12. They're the great voice from heaven saying, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in the cloud. In the mind, our minds are already ascended. That's why the scriptures say our conversation is in heaven. But the Lord gonna physically draw us unto him. That's why he said, come up to him, enter into thy chambers. That's the UFO. That's the chariot of the Lord. My people, that's the few. Many are called, few are chosen. The Lord is only going to cause a few of his people to come up unto him. So yeah, 1 Peter 2:9, the Lord know how to deliver the godly out of temptations. Now us, being drawn into the Lord by the word, the Lord putting us, leading us in his ways to ultimately be on that chariot for salvation. We're going to show two precepts how that plays out.
Right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse. The book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 14. And it reads, "And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of the Lord shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies."
Hey, we went into that previous verse. Come, my people, enter into thy chambers. That's the Shalom. Enter into the chambers to be hid from the indignation. That's the wrath of the Lord. That's that nuclear fire. But what it say? His hand will be known toward his servants. That's the few that are going to be chosen. That's the gold. That's the godly that's going to be delivered from the temptations. Mentally, physically, spiritually. That's they who going to endure. Who's going to perform as the elect. And who's the right hand? What's his hand being known toward his servants? We're going to show that real quick.
All right, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 2. And it reads, "Looking unto Yahushua Mashiach, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh thy power."
Our Lord and Savior, Yahushua, sat at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. So when it speaks about the hand of the Lord, that's speaking about his right hand man, his only begotten son, Yahushua. So that word only begotten, Christians don't even understand that. But that's another lesson. So his right hand, Yahushua, will be made known toward his servants. And then now Yahushua say he come in a volume of the book. It is written of him. So his hand being made known toward his servants, that's the mysteries written in the book being revealed to his servants. That's the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter. He revealeth his secrets, or he revealeth his right hand. He revealeth Yahushua to his servants, the prophets. And then that elect is who the secrets will be revealed to by the prophets. So yeah, ultimately, it's the right hand, Yahushua, the understanding written in this book that deliver us out of these temptations. Shalom to the brother Kyle Ratazah. Shalom to the brother Yuanathan Bakar. Let's grab these precepts real quick. Hey, shalom to everybody else tuning in. God bless you, Barakazah. They said we keep moving America. And who got this place moving?
Right.
Yahweh Bashim outside by the prophets.
Yeah.
Because what's moving? Because America is stagnant. Prophecy is moving. Let me see, it is 1 Corinthians 3:13 through 15. And this is one of my favorite precepts, 1 Corinthians 3:13.
All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 13. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
What's your work? Ultimately, your faith.
Right.
That's how your works are going to be shown, by your faith, what you believe in, what you trust in. And what it say that day going to declare it. What the brother said earlier, people can say a lot of this, a lot of that. What they ain't going to do, what they not willing to do. Well, there's a day that's going to declare it. That time of Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, because it's going to be revealed by fire. That's the troubles, the adversity, the temptation.
Either roll or get rolled over.
Yep. Yeah, let's get 14 and 15.
All right. Reading on verse 14. If any man's work abide which he hath built thereunto, he shall receive a reward. Verse 15. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire.
So if you abide in this, you know, there's a reward.
Yes.
If your work is burnt up, meaning you don't make it, hey, Israel can still make it by the fire.
Right.
And if they got a better, this is a better way of wording that, let me know. But that's that. If you get Matthew 24, 10 and 36, I'm gonna get this Isaiah 48 and 10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver, but I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. So that's the fire. That's the adversities that we gonna go through.
10 and 36.
Yep, 10 and 36. And through the many adversities comes many temptations. So the scripture say the afflictions of the righteous are many. Because when you depart from evil, you make yourself a target or a prey.
Yep, just kind of like when you come out the world, you get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Your family like make faces frowned up when you come around.
Oh yeah.
Damn him, man. He's so into his new religion.
Yeah.
You know, but as long as you straddling the fence, going over grandmama's house, letting her fix you a whole plate of abominables, and you eating it because you don't want to piss her off, man, hey, your mind ain't in the right place.
Man, side topic, I was looking at some food stuff last night.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about soul food. I already mentioned like Indian, Mexican, African, especially food out there from the East.
Yeah.
Like Indians, none of their menu got pork in it.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of soul food places, me and my Issachar partner, we went to a soul food spot.
Pork and everything.
Bro, all the food is either fried or it's all abominables. Fried shrimp, fried catfish, fried pork chops.
You ever seen that
regular
movie,
pork
Soul
chops?
Food?
Lobster tail. I'm like, damn, bro. Y'all got some meat that's not abominable and not fried.
Fried,
Soul
died,
food.
laid
Yeah, I
to
seen
the
that.
side. That movie Soul Food. So do you remember when the grandmama died? She got her leg amputated because diabetes.
Yeah.
And when the family broke up and came back together, they was back at the table eating all the same food. You know what I'm saying? They killed their grandmama.
Yep.
You know?
I heard a brother mention that last night.
It's crazy.
That nigga culture is a failure. You know, you see a particular diet or lifestyle kill, you know, your elders, and you continue in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Seeing your grandma die from diabetes, you continue to eat the abominable she ate. And to get only the same result, probably sooner. But yeah, let's grab that Matthew 10:36.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and verse 36. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Hey, your family. I think it's 36 or 37 if you want.
That was 36 when I split my bed. I'm going to get it over. Book of Matthew chapter 10, starting at verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Yeah, so, hey, your family, that's going to be another kind of trouble, another adversity, another source of temptation. They might be trying to snitch on you to get you delivered up, or trying to get you to get that chip.
Snitch on you for something to eat.
Yep, but hey, if you love them more than Yahweh Shah, you're not worthy of Yahweh Shah, because they're going to draw you away from Yahweh Shah. And what? When you drew away, you perish. Then And if you also get Matthew 15 and 14, I'm going to get this Luke 21:36. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. To what? Well, yeah, you got to escape the troubles, but with the many troubles come many temptations. Because with all the troubles you face, there's going to be a temporary way out. Scripture spoke about he who saved his life shall lose it. So when the sword and the famine come, there's going to be a way out, a quick way out by Esau, a temporary way out, but you're going to lose in the end anyway. So you're going to escape, but you're not going to escape all things. Through Yahweh Shah, we're going to escape all things. So, you know, you failed the hour of temptation to get the microchip just to die by the nuclear missiles. You didn't escape all things. See Yahweh Shah could bypass all of that. And that's the godly being delivered from the temptations.
All right, this is the book of Matthew chapter 14, verse 15. And it reads,
My bad, 15, 14?
15 and 14.
Okay.
Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
Hey, Yahweh Shah said leave them alone. That's why we don't meddle with the church. We don't too much meddle with Christians.
Right.
You know, leave them alone, let the blind lead the blind. And what's that ditch? That's the lake of fire, ultimately. And that's the fate, for the 2/3 of our people. Because they was tempted by the world. They let the things of the world draw them away from Yahweh Shah. So now they can't be delivered. And Shalom to my brother Kabag Shana. Rock it down. But yeah, man, that's the lesson. The Lord delivered the godly out of temptations. We went super in depth into that word temptation, super in depth into that word to draw. Because see, deliver the godly out of temptation. My bad, when it's that word to deliver. Lord, what that was affirmative edifying, to give all praises to Yahweh. Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.
Shalom.